Night settled heavy upon the forgotten valley. The wind slid across dry grass like distant whispers. Arif stood beside the ancient stone gate, breathing slowly, as though the air itself carried memories of those who once lived here. His lantern glowed weakly against the vast quiet. Ahead the ruins stretched like bones of a long-dead world. Every step he took echoed against cracked marble pillars. He felt the world watching him, not with sight but through time itself. Long ago elders had warned that this place swallowed voices. That history here did not fade. It waited. Arif knew this, but he needed answers. He had followed the journal of his grandfather across borders, across deserts, across the pages of forgotten scholars, until the ink itself seemed to bleed into his thoughts. The journal spoke of a hidden chamber beneath the old citadel, a chamber where the final truth of the vanished kingdom rested. Arif touched the stone wall, cold, rough, yet alive in a quiet pulse like a heart sleeping for centuries. He walked deeper. The moon cast long, pale lines through the shattered ceiling, as if writing messages that only the past could read. Dust floated in the beam like tiny silver ghosts. Arif opened the journal and traced the faded letters. His grandfather had written that the chamber required patience and respect, that those who rushed would be punished by silence eternal. Arif closed the book and inhaled the old air. His footsteps slowed, his pulse steadied. He listened. The ruins hummed like distant thunder sleeping. Soon he reached a stairway spiraling into the earth. Each step groaned softly under his weight, as though the stones remembered every foot that once pressed upon them. He descended. The air grew cooler. Invisible presence thickened around him like an unseen gaze. At the bottom he discovered a massive door carved with scenes of war and peace. Kings lifting swords, mothers holding infants, rivers flowing wide like memories stretched across ages. There were no locks, only a circle engraved at the center, glowing faintly as if alive. Arif placed his palm on the circle. The stone trembled. A deep tone rolled through the corridor like an ancient sigh. The door parted with slow grace. Dust drifted in thin threads. Inside the chamber lay a long hall lined with statues of beings tall and solemn. Their eyes, though carved from stone, seemed aware. Arif felt a chill, yet he moved forward. The hall led to a pedestal where a single object rested under soft blue light. A crown, forged of metal unknown, dark yet shimmering like starlight drowned beneath deep oceans. He approached carefully. The journal said this crown was called Sular, King of Memory. It held histories of an entire civilization compressed like breath before speech. Whoever touched it would hear voices of the past like rain on silent fields. Arif extended his hand but stopped. He felt presence behind him. He turned slowly. A figure stood among the statues, not stone but flesh. A man old as twilight with eyes deep as forgotten wells. His robe flowed like shadow and moonlight woven together in quiet grace. The old man spoke with voice soft as sand drifting. He told Arif that the crown chose its listener. That history was a river powerful enough to reshape mountains of belief. To wear the crown meant to carry the weight of countless souls who lived, loved, and vanished. Arif bowed slightly. He explained that he sought truth, not power. He wished to know why the kingdom fell, why its people disappeared without war, without plague, without trace. The old man observed him, long silent as winter sky. Then he nodded. He said the answer was kept within Sular. But truth demanded sacrifice. Memory was sharp like broken glass. To witness past was to bleed through time. Arif accepted. He stepped to the pedestal and lifted the crown with gentle reverence. The moment his skin met the cold metal, the chamber trembled softly. Blue light swelled like calm tide rising. Statues watched through hollow eyes. The crown settled on his head, and the world dissolved like ink in water. Darkness unfurled, then light. A great city appeared around him, vibrant, alive, breathing with voices, laughter, markets. Perfumed with rich spices, banners waving high over golden towers. Children ran across mosaic streets. Bells chimed like silver winds. The kingdom was alive, not ruins, but glorious. Arif stood among them, unseen yet deeply present. He felt memories flow through him like endless river. Every face carried story, every voice threaded into shimmering tapestry of shared existence. Then he saw her. A girl with eyes bright as morning sun, hair long like flowing night. She stood on balcony overlooking bustling celebration. She seemed aware of Arif, though he was ghost in time. She spoke words he could not hear, yet he felt meaning, warning, urgency. Beneath the beauty, Arif sensed fracture. A shadow beneath painted glory. He turned. Across horizon a dark wave slowly crawled like storm of forgetting. People laughed, danced unaware. But the light dimmed, and memory trembled. The kingdom did not fall through war, it faded through silence. A curse woven by scholars who sought immortality through perfect memory. They believed if every history was preserved, no death would be final. But memory became burden heavy enough to shatter spirit. People forgot how to live because past became louder than present. They drowned in echoes. Voices of ancestors devoured their own. Streets hushed, markets emptied. Joy dissolved like smoke in cold dawn. The wave consumed city not with fire or sword, but with stillness. With absolute remembering. Arif felt the weight pierce him. Countless lifetimes flooded through mind. Birth, love, loss, kings crowned. Empires rising like dawn, then sinking like dusk. Too many memories to hold. His breath trembled. The crown tightened like ring of stars collapsing. He collapsed to stone within vision. The girl reached for him. Her eyes shone with plea. She said only one could break endless remembrance. One who accepted past but lived forward. Arif gasped. Light shattered. He returned to chamber kneeling, breath heavy, tears warm. The old man watched steady, like mountain shadow. Arif lifted crown gently from head. He now knew why civilization vanished. They remembered too perfectly. They never allowed life to become future. Only past. Arif stood with slow dignity. He pledged that history must be carried like lantern, not like chain. The old man nodded. The statues seemed to exhale. The chamber lights faded soft like candle resting. Arif walked back through ruins not with fear but quiet purpose. Dawn touched sky pale gold. Wind no longer whispered of sorrow, it carried promise. He stepped beyond stone gate and sunlight washed his face. Behind him the ancient valley remained silent yet peaceful, as though soul of kingdom finally rested. Arif held journal close. He would write truth not to trap future in memory, but to guide it gentle like river that remembers source yet, flows freely toward sea. He walked onward with heart steady like horizon endless before him. The valley behind Arif lay quiet now, like a memory finally breathing. The sun warmed his back, yet the ruins still held their secrets. Every stone whispered stories he could not yet comprehend. He walked slowly. The journal pressed to his chest felt heavier than before, yet lighter at the same time. He realized that knowledge was both burden and liberation. The city he had seen was gone not through fire, not through war, but through silence. And silence was patient and absolute. It waited for someone to understand it fully before it released even a single truth. Arif's footsteps crunched across frost-hardened earth. The wind moved gently through bare branches carrying hints of the past. He paused. Every shadow seemed to stretch long and thoughtful, as if the valley itself had noticed him walking. He traced fingers along the ruined wall, rough cold stone. Etched faces long eroded yet holding something essential in their gaze. A king, a scholar, a child lost in play centuries ago. He imagined their lives flowing together like river streams until each dissolved into the endless sea of time. That river now flowed through him like pulse through veins. He thought of the girl on the balcony, her eyes bright and urgent. Something in them lingered still like a signal in fog. The Crown Sular had shown him the kingdom alive yet doomed. He realized it was not simply a story of collapse. It was a story of choice. Of human desire to hold everything so tightly that nothing remains to be experienced. Memory can be beautiful. Memory can be destructive. And sometimes it can consume without notice until the present ceases to exist. He shivered, not from cold. From comprehension. As he walked, he saw a figure moving among trees. Not the old man of the chamber nor the girl, but a shadow within shadows. It glided almost without sound. Arif stopped. Breath rose slow in clouds. The shadow paused too. They stared at one another. Not fear, not anger, just acknowledgement. He sensed that the valley kept watch. That ruins were patient. That history itself had agency, he continued. Step by step, the figure receded yet left awareness like echo of bell in empty hall. Each stone beneath foot remembered him briefly before returning to sleep. He reached the old gate again. Sunlight fell through broken arches. He realized he had been walking longer than hours, longer than minutes. Time itself had bent softly around Sular. He had lived centuries and decades in Heart of Chamber, and now he walked in Valley as man alone yet changed. He lifted journal and opened page where grandfather wrote of hidden truths not meant for the timid. Lines blurred, yet clarity came from feeling, not sight. Understanding came not in words, but in weight. The crown had taught him the lesson all kings forgot. The world is vast. Memory is endless. Life demands movement, despite knowing everything that came before. Arif breathed. The wind shifted. A flock of birds rose from trees distant as flocks of thought long forgotten. The valley seemed to exhale. He traced stone edges of gate. Fingers burned slightly from sun and cold and exertion of holding knowledge too long. And then he saw it. A narrow path winding between hills overgrown with grass. It did not appear in journal. Not in memory of old travelers. It appeared now as if created for him alone. He hesitated, a whisper of past warned danger. Yet curiosity stronger than caution urged forward. He walked onto path slowly. Every footfall deliberate, like he carved 38 strokes in air around him. The path led to a small rise. Snow lightly dusted its sides, though winter had long passed. He looked down and saw a stream. Clear water reflected sky like polished mirror. He knelt and ran hand through water. Coolness of its startled pulse. He felt present. Not past, not future, yet aware of both. Somewhere above the hills a bird cried. Sound sharp, clean, fleeting. It reminded him that life continues even when kingdoms vanish, even when ruins sleep. He stood. Sun-touched face. Valley stretched wide beyond comprehension. Journal felt lighter. Sular crown rested now only in memory. He was not chosen to bear it permanently. Only to learn and release. As he descended from rise, he noticed movement along stream. Small stones shifting under something unseen. A shimmer perhaps of heat or of memory manifesting briefly. He crouched, leaned forward, nothing immediately visible. Yet feeling of presence thickened. Then he saw footprints. Not human exactly, not animal exactly. Indistinct yet deliberate. They led upstream following path he had not yet seen. Ara felt pulse of anticipation. Something waited beyond bend of river, something patient. Something that had observed his steps without stepping. He felt weight again. Not burden, invitation. Call to continuation of story hidden not in ruins or crown but in quiet living world. He followed footprints. Stream curved. Small hill rose. He paused. Air shifted subtly. Light soft to pale amber. And then he saw her again, the girl from balcony standing on hill crest. Hair catching light. Eyes still urgent yet calm. She did not move. Did not speak, just waited. Shadows played around her like smoke drifting without wind. Arif understood this moment was hinge of what came next. Past and present met here without collision. He realized choice lay before him, to step forward into encounter not yet written, to engage with unknown without expectation, or to return to Valley as silent observer, his heart beat slow, steady. Breath rose in soft clouds. Every moment prepared him as he had not realized. Foot lifted, step forward, and then shadow moved. From behind trees another presence emerged. Not threatening but undeniable. Tall, broad, indistinct. Watching. Patient. Arif froze for heartbeat. He felt weight of all past centuries resting quietly upon him. He understood then that Sular was not only crown, it was moment. Life itself folded to stillness here. Breath slowed. Wind softened. And he realized everything could change in one step. One choice. One movement of body, heart, mind aligned with unfolding world. And just as he was about to step forward, to speak or move or release breath into universe, something sudden happened. A branch cracked sharply. Sound echoed against hills like gunshot. The girl blinked. Shadow stiffened. Stream shimmered unnaturally. Arif turned and saw movement behind him among rocks. Footprints multiplying though no one else visible. Valley silent yet attentive. A strange sense of pressure mounted in chest. He felt pulse of past crashing into present. History was alive not only in memory of crown but in living flesh of Valley. And in that precise moment he realized choice was not his alone. The Valley waited. Past waited. Future waited. And something older and more patient than all watched him hesitate with quiet amusement. Arif's breath caught as the pressure in his chest grew heavier, yet strange and compelling. He stayed frozen on the path while the valley held its quiet judgment. The girl on the hill did not move. Her eyes seemed to see not only him but everything surrounding him, as if time itself had pooled in those pupils. The shadow that had appeared behind her now shifted slightly. Not toward him, not away, but subtly altering shape as though considering some invisible chessboard. He felt for the first time in decades that he was not alone in choosing how history would continue. Every step he had taken since the chamber had led to this pause. The footprints along the stream multiplied. Not all human, not all animal. Something else. Something patient. Something curious. Arif realized the valley itself was not passive. Every stone, every tree, every ripple of water seemed aware of presence of life in the moment. He felt weight of centuries fold over him. The crown Sular had imparted memory to him, but it was not the crown that mattered. It was understanding how to carry knowledge without letting it consume the world. He stepped slowly toward the girl, footfall silent yet deliberate. Wind whispered through the grass like old voices. The shadow tilted again. His heart beat steady, though he did not fully understand why he felt cautious. Not fear, not dread. Just recognition that this moment had consequence beyond comprehension. He raised hand slightly as greeting. The girl's gaze did not waver. She lifted her own hand in response, though not to touch. More like acknowledgement that he had arrived fully aware and ready. A bird cried above the hill. Its sound sharp and sudden, yet brief as breath. The valley seemed to inhale in response. Arif looked around. Shadows shifted subtly but purposefully. The stream rippled, though no wind touched its surface. He understood the valley was alive in ways the world outside ruins could never reveal. Each movement in air reflected unseen weight of memory. Past and future existed simultaneously here. He felt himself woven into fabric of that continuum, not master. Not victim, participant. He stepped closer, each footfall deliberate. The girl remained on crest of hill watching him. Shadow behind her stretched taller. Light softened around them. Arif felt pulse of anticipation in rhythm with his own heart. Stream below mirrored sky yet reflected presence of unseen watchers. Every moment heightened. Valley seemed to condense. Time compressed to single axis. He remembered Sular's lesson. History cannot be held too tightly or it becomes prison. He must move forward, act, engage, witness without consuming. Suddenly a branch cracked sharply behind him. The sound echoed across hill and stream. He spun. Nothing visible, yet footprints seemed closer than before. He felt air shift as if something massive yet unseen moved with silent deliberation. Heartbeat steady, breath controlled. He realized instinct was useless here. Only observation, patience, and willingness to let history reveal itself without interference could guide him. Step by step he turned back to girl. Shadow moved again subtly. Not threat, but test. He noticed faint shimmer along edge of stream. Water reflected more than sky now. Reflected shapes of figures long gone. Some human, some unidentifiable. They watched him as he watched girl. Valley vibrated subtly. Every movement amplified into network of echoes spanning centuries. Arif understood now. The valley carried memory not to punish but to teach. To ensure those who witnessed could act with understanding. He could move forward or stand frozen. Choice was alive. He could alter nothing yet everything, depending on perception of presence. He took a measured step toward girl. Shadow behind her mirrored motion subtly. Stream shimmered more brightly. Light from sky softened. Wind held quiet. Every sense sharpened to awareness beyond human comprehension. He realized Crown had not given knowledge of past, merely shown weight of responsibility. To see fully is to carry burden lightly, not with domination. Step forward another. Distance shortened. Girl did not retreat. Shadow did not advance. Valley seemed to exhale. Stones shimmered faintly, as if approving careful observation. Then he felt presence directly behind. Not threat, not malice. Just weight. Air thickened. Footsteps not audible yet sensed. He froze once more. Valley tense. Shadows held still. Girl watched intently. Stream rippled without touch. Something in him recognized shape in air. A figure, perhaps spectral, perhaps flesh, but beyond certainty. He understood interaction must be careful, deliberate, measured. One wrong motion could shatter delicate equilibrium of moment. Breath even, pulse steady, eyes focused. He finally spoke softly, though words did not carry far. Statement of awareness, not of demand. Valley listened. Stream echoed faintly. Shadow tilted ever so slightly. Presence behind moved slowly back into indistinctness. Girl's gaze softened. He realized communication did not require sound. Gesture, presence, patience sufficed. Understanding flowed like river along stream. Footsteps measured now forward. One step, another. Valley seemed to breathe along him. Time compressed, expanded simultaneously. Arif moved closer to Hillcrest. Stream to his left mirrored sky and shifting shadows. Stones beneath feet seemed alive in quiet resonance. Girl raised hand once more. Arif mirrored gesture. Connection formed not through voice but through observation, patience, and care. Valley held moment intact. Presence behind remained waiting yet restrained. Shadow hovered beyond certainty. Breath steady, heart steady. Awareness complete. Then something sudden occurred. Ground trembled slightly underfoot. Stream rippled sharply. Shadow behind girl expanded. She blinked rapidly. Arif's body tensed. Footsteps now seemed multiplied, though no one else visible. Air shifted. Light shimmered strangely. Valley hushed, yet vibrating with hidden movement. Arif realized moment of decision had arrived. To proceed or withdraw. To engage fully or remain passive. History waited silently around him. Valley itself leaned in, anticipating choice. And as he lifted first step forward toward girl, a low resonant sound emanated from hills. Like echo of forgotten bell, shadows lengthened. Streams shimmered unnaturally. Air thickened. Valley waited. And in that precise instant, Arif understood he was no longer merely witness. He was participant in unfolding continuum. And that realization brought with it sharp clarity that something ancient, patient, and unseen had begun moving toward him deliberately. The low sound grew steady like heartbeat beneath the hills. Arif froze where he stood. Every sense sharpened beyond the ordinary. The girl on the crest remained motionless, her gaze unwavering. The shadow behind her shifted subtly, as if acknowledging something he could not yet perceive. Stream rippled more strongly, now reflecting sky fragmented into shifting shards of light. Stones underfoot seemed to hum faintly. Valley itself waited, patient and silent, yet charged with unseen expectation. Air pressed gently against his chest. He stepped forward slowly, each footfall deliberate, measured, cautious. The girl raised her hand slightly again. Arif mirrored gesture instinctively. Connection established not through words, but through presence, attention, patience. The shadow behind her shifted closer, yet did not approach directly. It moved like river mist, curling around rocks, aware, observing, but careful not to interfere. Arif realized he had entered space where perception mattered more than action. Each breath counted as pulse of Valley pressed against him like quiet pressure. Footsteps appeared beside him. He turned slightly. No one visible, yet rhythm of movement unmistakable. He sensed another presence. Not threatening, not hostile. Just observing, evaluating, gauging weight of decision. Valley had grown alive in ways he could not have anticipated. Every tree, every stone, every ripple of stream seemed connected in subtle network of awareness. He was participant, not master, yet not powerless. Observed, yet observing, breath even, pulse steady. He approached crest of hill cautiously. Girl remained calm, watching each step. Stream to his left mirrored sky and shadows flickering along surface. Stones underfoot hummed lightly. Shadows from trees lengthened. Air heavy with subtle vibration of presence waiting. Arif felt pulse of centuries through body, mind, spirit. Past, present, future coalesced briefly. Crown Sular had taught him weight of memory. Now he understood application. Observation, patience, deliberate movement could change outcome without interference. Then shadow behind girl extended slightly outward. Not to threaten. Not to engage. But to test awareness, to measure understanding of interaction. Arif froze mid-step. Valley seemed to pulse subtly. Air thickened around him. He realized unseen forces observed not only body but thought and intent. To proceed recklessly could shatter fragile balance. He inhaled slow and deep. Step forward became gesture, not motion. Awareness merged with rhythm of Valley. A faint murmur rose in distance. Not voice, not wind. Subtle harmonic resonance vibrating through soil, stone, water, air. Presence he had sensed behind now shifted closer, maintaining distance yet unmistakable in intent. Girl remained serene, calm, patient, waiting as if entire continuum rested on observation. Arif understood moment had arrived where choice mattered. Step forward fully or pause indefinitely. Outcome uncertain yet meaningful in consequence. He stepped closer to crest. Stream shimmered under sun, faint reflections fractured across surface. Shadows from trees folded in upon themselves. Stones hummed softly beneath feet. Air thickened. Valley pressed gently. Breath even pulse steady. Awareness expanded. He felt flow of history surrounding him, layering past with present in quiet, intricate weave. Presence behind now more distinct, yet still distant, not threatening, only observing. He realized that participation required patience above action. Footfalls multiplied silently. Valley seemed to hold its breath. Every motion of girl, every ripple in stream, every shimmer of shadow amplified in consciousness of Valley. Arif felt weight of memory pulse through body. Kramsular taught him knowledge, but Valley taught him patience. Presence behind girl waited. Time stretched and folded, compressing and expanding simultaneously. Decision hung in balance. One step could resonate across continuum in ways immeasurable. He raised hand slowly toward girl. Gesture intentional, deliberate. She lifted her hand slightly more. Connection acknowledged without sound. Valley exhaled quietly. Stream shimmered. Shadows softened. Presence behind girl remained vigilant, observing. Arif understood he was not alone in continuum of moment. Participation was shared across unseen forces. Awareness, careful, deliberate movement maintained balance. He inhaled, slow, held pause, expanded perception through entire body. Then sudden sharp crack echoed from rocks behind him. Footsteps shifted closer, streams shimmered violently. Shadows flared and twisted unnaturally. Valley stiffened. Girl blinked rapidly, presence behind extended fully yet still not advancing. Arif felt pulse of centuries converge into single instant. Every instinct sharpened. Mind calm, steady, body aligned with perception of Valley. One movement, one choice would define unfolding of continuum beyond ordinary understanding. And in that instant, Arif realized he could not retreat nor act blindly. Valley waited for decision. Shadow waited. Girl waited. Stream reflected fractured light. Stones hummed faintly. Air thickened, gentle yet insistent. Choice existed not in action but in understanding presence, fully allowing continuum of Valley to acknowledge him and act through him. And then he saw it. Something moving at edge of vision, subtle, nearly imperceptible yet undeniable. Shifting forms, shapes indistinct beyond comprehension. Valley held. Breath held. Presence behind girl shifted slightly forward. Shadows lengthened. Streams shimmered. Light fractured and recomposed endlessly. Arif understood that step forward now would not merely meet girl but intersect entire flow of memory, history, and awareness active within Valley. The forms at the edge of Arif's vision resolved slowly. Not fully human, not fully animal. Shapes layered and shifting like mist caught in sunlight. They moved with patience, not haste. Valley seemed to breathe around them. Stones underfoot hummed faintly. Stream rippled gently, reflecting fractured light from sky. Girl remained at crest, calm, patient, waiting. Shadow behind her shifted subtly, mirroring motion of unseen forms. Arif realized the continuum of Valley had expanded. He was no longer observer. He was now participant in something larger than comprehension. He stepped forward carefully. Every motion deliberate, measured, patient. Breath slow, pulse steady. Valley seemed to stretch and fold around him. He felt weight of centuries pressing lightly upon shoulders, not as burden but as guidance. Shapes at periphery moved closer without noise or threat. Subtle pressure. Presence of awareness. He understood instinct alone was useless. Only observation, understanding, and quiet alignment with rhythm of Valley could guide next step. Footfalls multiplied silently along stream. Stones underfoot hummed in resonance with his heartbeat. Air thickened slightly but without discomfort. Light softened golden, fading into pale amber as sun descended. Stream reflected fractured sky and shifting shadows. Valley seemed to exhale quietly in anticipation. Arif raised hand slowly toward girl. Gesture deliberate. She mirrored it perfectly. Connection established without words. Presence behind her shifted slightly, confirming alignment. He noticed now that shapes at periphery were observing both him and girl. Their movements subtle, deliberate, yet impossible to ignore. Valley itself seemed conscious of interaction. He understood Crown Sular had prepared him only partially. Valley taught patience, timing, observation. Step taken incorrectly could shatter fragile balance of continuum. Step taken deliberately in harmony could align history, memory, presence into single flowing motion. He walked another measured step forward. Stream rippled slightly, shadows lengthened and folded in upon themselves. Stones hummed faintly, air pressed gently against chest. Presence behind girl shifted subtly forward. Shapes at periphery moved closer yet never crossing invisible boundary. He understood this boundary was not physical but perceptual. Recognition of timing and intention mattered more than action itself. Valley seemed alive in every sense. Every element contained awareness beyond ordinary comprehension. Arif paused, breathing slow, steady, pulse even. Observed Valley around him, stones, stream, shadows, shapes at periphery, girl, shadow behind her. Air itself seemed to pulse with expectation. He realized step forward now required alignment of perception, thought, and presence. One motion could ripple outward, reshaping continuum of memory awareness. Valley itself. Presence behind girl observed him carefully. Valley held its breath. Time seemed to compress and expand simultaneously. Step forward. Breath controlled. Eye contact with girl. Alignment of body, mind, spirit with rhythm of Valley. Shapes at periphery shifted subtly, mirroring motion. Stones hummed. Stream shimmered. Shadows softened. Valley vibrated faintly. Presence behind girl tilted slightly forward. Arif sensed culmination of centuries of knowledge, patience, understanding coalescing into single instant. Step taken now could intersect entire continuum in unseen ways. He moved slowly, one measured step. Stream reflected sky, fractured and recomposed. Shadows folded around shapes at periphery. Stones vibrated faintly. Valley seemed to lean toward him, expectant. Girl remained calm, patient, watching. Presence behind her mirrored his motion subtly. He inhaled, slow exhaled, controlled. Awareness expanded beyond body, beyond mind, beyond ordinary perception. He felt history, memory, Valley itself intertwining with motion of single step. Another step. Stream rippled. Stones hummed. Shadows shifted slightly. Valley breathed around him. Shapes at periphery now fully observable. Not threatening, not distant. Observing, evaluating alignment of motion. Step deliberate, patient, controlled. Air thick and subtle yet insistent. Valley seemed to pulse in rhythm with heartbeat. Presence behind girl leaned ever so slightly forward. Connection established across continuum of Valley, shapes, girl, shadow, and himself. He stopped one final time before crest. Breath slow, pulse steady. Eye contact with girl complete. Awareness aligned with Valley. Shapes at periphery waiting. Stones humming. Stream shimmering. Shadow behind girl patient. Valley itself anticipating next motion. He realized step forward now would not merely meet girl, but intersect awareness, memory, history, flowing continuously in Valley. One motion full of alignment, presence, understanding, patience. Valley silent, but alert, ready to respond to correct measure of step, and then sudden shimmer ran across stream. Shapes at periphery flickered as if adjusting perception. Shadow behind girl shifted distinctly forward. Valley seemed to exhale softly. Girl lifted hand slightly higher. Arif knew this was moment of intersection. Step forward could define alignment of continuum. He lifted foot ready to move. And in that precise instant Valley itself seemed to pause, holding breath with him, with her, with shapes, with shadow. With all memory flowing simultaneously. Arif stepped forward. Valley held its quiet watch. Stones hummed faintly underfoot. Stream rippled, fractured, reflecting sky and shadows shifting across surface. Shapes at periphery moved subtly, adjusting alignment with his motion. Shadow behind girl tilted gently forward. She remained calm, patient, waiting. Breath slow, pulse steady. Awareness expanded to include every element of Valley, every ripple, every vibration, every motion flowing simultaneously in perfect silent balance. Step after step he moved closer to crest. Stream to his left shimmering faintly. Stones underfoot responding to weight, not only physical but perceptual. Shadows folding gently around shapes at periphery. Valley itself breathing along him. Shapes observed him carefully yet without haste. Presence behind girl mirrored each movement subtly. Arif realized moment of decision had arrived. Motion now not merely walking, but participating in continuum of Valley memory awareness history all at once. He paused briefly. Eye contact with girl complete. Alignment with Valley confirmed. Shapes at periphery still observing. Stones humming faint resonance. Stream shimmering softly. Air thickened subtly. Valley seemed to lean slightly forward. Shadow behind girl shifted gently confirming awareness. Every sense heightened, breath even pulse steady. Step forward now carried weight not only of his presence but entire flow of continuum around him. One final step. Motion deliberate controlled. Valley held quiet attention. Stream reflected sky fractured and recomposed. Shadows shifted subtly around shapes at periphery. Stones underfoot hummed faintly. Shadow behind girl patient yet attentive. Presence of girl calm serene anchored continuum. Air thickened slightly insistent. Valley seemed to pulse in rhythm with heartbeat. Arif realized step now would intersect awareness history memory, flowing continuously through every element around him. He reached crest. Stream rippled slightly under stones. Shadows folded softly. Shapes at periphery adjusted position as if acknowledging successful alignment. Shadow behind girl mirrored motion subtly. Girl remained calm, patient, yet somehow more aware than before. Valley exhaled gently. Stones vibrated faintly. Air pressed softly against chest. He felt weight of centuries' knowledge, patience, observation, coalescing into single instant. Continuum complete for first time since entering Valley. Then sudden shimmer appeared along stream. Shapes at periphery flickered rapidly. Light fractured sharply. Stones vibrated faintly. Valley seemed to pause, holding breath in anticipation. Shadow behind girl extended slightly forward. Girl lifted hand again. Arif understood this was not moment of danger, but confirmation of correct alignment. Continuum acknowledged participation fully. Every element waiting for next motion, subtle, deliberate, responsive to awareness, patience, understanding. He stood fully on crest. Valley stretched endlessly around him. Stream shimmering shadows folding shapes observing stones vibrating air pulsing. Shadow behind girl steady. Girl serene calm patient waiting. Breath even pulse steady. Awareness expanded encompassing Valley stream shadows shaped stones air girl shadow himself. One motion could continue alignment or shift flow. One decision could ripple across continuum beyond comprehension. A sudden low hum rose beneath hills. Sound vibrating through soil, stone, water, air. Shapes at periphery adjusted subtly. Shadow behind girl responded in tandem. Valley itself seemed alive, fully aware. Arif understood hum marked transition in continuum. Step forward could consolidate alignment fully. Step pause or retreat could alter subtle resonance across Valley memory and awareness. Breath even pulse steady. Heart aligned with rhythm of Valley. He lifted first step deliberately. Stream reflected sky and fractured shadows. Stones hummed faintly. Valley pulsed softly. Shapes at periphery mirrored motion. Shadow behind girl extended gently forward. Girl lifted hand slightly higher. Air thickened yet supportive. Continuum aligned, flowing through all elements around him. Step carried awareness, presence, memory, and patience simultaneously. He realized participation required full attention, complete alignment, not haste or fear, but deliberate observation, patience, respect. Another step. Valley exhaled softly. Stream rippled more strongly. Shadows shifted subtly. Stones hummed faintly. Shapes adjusted position, maintaining subtle observation. Shadow behind girl tilted slightly, confirming correct motion. Breath slow, pulse steady. Awareness fully expanded. Continuum aligned. Valley present yet patient. History memory awareness flowing continuously. Step after step deliberate, controlled, measured, and full of understanding. And just as he was about to reach girl, a sudden shift occurred. Shapes at periphery expanded briefly, shimmering like light through mist. Shadow behind girl extended fully yet without aggression. Stream rippled sharply. Stones hummed more strongly. Air pressed gently against chest. Valley seemed to hold all presence suspended in perfect, quiet anticipation. Arif realized he had reached threshold. Step forward now could complete alignment or trigger subtle disruption beyond ordinary perception. Arif froze for heartbeat. Valley held its breath. Stones hummed faintly underfoot. Stream rippled gently, reflecting fractured sky and shifting shadows. Shapes at periphery moved subtly in response to presence. Shadow behind girl remained poised, patient, attentive. Girl's gaze steady, calm, serene. Air thickened slightly yet supportive. Arif understood threshold had been reached. Step forward now required full alignment of awareness, perception, patience, and motion. He inhaled slow, exhaled steady. Pulse even. Eyes fixed on girl. Shapes at periphery observing silently. Valley seemed to expand slightly around him. Every stone, every ripple, every shadow vibrating in subtle resonance with presence of all participants. Shadow behind girl shifted gently, confirming observation. He realized step forward was not mere motion, but intersection of awareness, memory, valley continuum all flowing together. Step taken correctly would solidify alignment. Step wrong would ripple, subtly disrupting fragile balance. Arif lifted foot, carefully measured, slow, deliberate. Stream shimmered. Stones vibrated faintly. Shadows folded softly around shapes at periphery. Valley pulsed quietly. Shadow behind girl mirrored motion subtly. Girl lifted hand slightly higher. Air seemed to breathe along with him. He felt weight of centuries of observation, patience, knowledge coalescing into single instant. Continuum held yet ready to adjust in response to next motion. Another step. Valley exhaled softly. Stream rippled more strongly. Stones hummed faint resonance. Shadows shifted gently around peripheral shapes. Shadow behind girl extended forward slightly. Presence of girl steady, serene, patient. Air thickened subtly. Valley seemed to pulse in rhythm with heartbeat. Awareness expanded beyond body-mind ordinary perception. He realized step now could fully intersect alignment of continuum. One motion flowing through memory, awareness, valley, observation. Step after step, deliberate, careful. Stream reflected fractured light from sky. Stones underfoot vibrated faintly. Shadows folded around shapes at periphery. Valley exhaled softly. Shadow behind girl responded subtly. Girl calm, patient, observing. Air held gentle pressure. Pulse even, breath controlled. Awareness expanded to include every element, valley, stream, shadows, shapes, stones, girl, shadow himself. Step taken with complete attention could fully synchronize continuum. He reached small rise. Stream curved gently below. Stones hummed faintly. Shapes at periphery mirrored movement subtly. Valley exhaled softly. Shadow behind girl mirrored alignment. Girl remained serene. Air thickened slightly, pressing softly against chest. Arif understood he had arrived at center of threshold. Step forward now would complete alignment or trigger subtle ripple across continuum. He inhaled fully. Exhaled slowly. Step measured deliberate, complete awareness. Step forward. Valley pulsed. Stream shimmered. Stones vibrated faintly. Shadows shifted subtly. Shapes at periphery acknowledged alignment. Shadow behind girl confirmed motion. Girl lifted hand slightly. Air thickened yet supportive. Continuum flowed through valley, memory, awareness, observation, presence, patience. Step carried alignment, knowledge, understanding, and deliberate perception simultaneously. He felt valley itself welcoming correct motion into continuity of flow. He paused briefly. Breath slow, steady. Pulse calm. Eye contact with girl complete. Valley held quietly. Stream reflected sky and shadows. Stones hummed faintly. Shapes at periphery still observing. Shadow behind girl poised, patient, attentive. Air thickened gently. Valley seemed to lean subtly forward, acknowledging alignment. Step next would continue flow of continuum, extending connection across all elements surrounding him. Then sudden shift occurred. Stream shimmered sharply. Stones hummed stronger. Shadows flared briefly. Shapes at periphery flickered like light through mist. Shadow behind girl extended fully yet non-threatening. Girl blinked rapidly. Valley held perfect quiet anticipation. Air thickened, pressing gently against chest. Arif realized step forward now would not only meet girl but fully intersect continuum of memory, awareness, valley, observation, presence, flowing continuously in perfect alignment. And in that precise instant he felt it. Threshold passed. Continuum acknowledged him fully. Valley breathed softly. Shadows softened. Stream shimmered faintly. Stones hummed faint resonance. Shapes at periphery held position acknowledging alignment. Shadow behind girl relaxed slightly. Girl remained serene, calm, patient, waiting. Arif felt weight of centuries knowledge, patience, observation, coalescing fully into single perfect instant. Step now would complete motion. Arif felt a sudden pulse of awareness at the edge of his vision. Not human, not animal, but deliberate, patient, aware. Valley itself seemed to hold its breath. Stones hummed faintly beneath his feet. Stream rippled softly, reflecting fractured sky and moving shadows. Shadow behind girl mirrored subtle shifts, as if sensing the unseen entity at the periphery. Girl remained calm, serene, patient, waiting. Air thickened, slightly pressing gently against his chest. Continuum stretched. Threshold shifted. Alignment now included this new presence he had not previously perceived. He stepped forward, slowly, measured, deliberate. Breath even, pulse steady. Stones hummed faint resonance underfoot. Stream shimmered gently, reflecting fractured sky and shadows folding across its surface. Shapes at periphery adjusted subtly. Valley seemed to lean impatient, observant. Shadow behind girl extended gently forward, yet maintained distance. Girl lifted hands, slightly acknowledging motion. Awareness expanded to include valley, stream, stones, shadows, shapes, girl, shadow, unseen entity, and himself. Step now carried weight of observation, patience, and alignment flowing simultaneously. Another step, deliberate, careful, controlled. Stream rippled faintly. Stones vibrated with faint resonance. Shadows shifted subtly. Valley pulsed softly, as if breathing in rhythm with his heartbeat. Shapes at periphery mirrored motion. Shadow behind girl adjusted slightly, confirming alignment. Girl serene, calm, patient, observing. Air thickened slightly, yet supportive, pressing gently against chest. Peripheral presence shifted subtly. Continuum expanded, flowing continuously across all elements. Arif realized motion now, fully integrated continuum including unseen presence. He paused briefly, inhaled, slow exhaled, controlled. Eye contact with girl complete. Valley exhaled quietly. Stream reflected fractured sky and shifting shadows. Stones hummed faint resonance. Shapes at periphery held steady. Shadow behind girl poised attentive. Air thickened gently. Awareness expanded beyond body-mind ordinary perception. Continuum flowing continuously through valley, stream, stones, shadows, girl, shadow, unseen presence, and himself. Step forward would solidify full alignment. He lifted foot, slow, deliberate, measured. Stones hummed faintly. Stream shimmered. Shadows folded softly around peripheral shapes. Valley pulsed gently. Shapes at periphery mirrored alignment. Shadow behind girl extended gently, confirming correct motion. Girl calm, serene, patient. Air thickened, pressing gently against chest. Peripheral presence shifted subtly, acknowledging alignment. Awareness expanded fully. Step deliberate, controlled, intentional. Continuum flowing unbroken. Another step. Valley exhaled softly. Stream rippled more strongly. Stones vibrated faintly. Shadows shifted subtly. Shapes at periphery acknowledged motion. Shadow behind girl poised attentive. Girl calm, patient, serene. Air thick and gentle yet supportive. Continuum flowing continuously. Step deliberate, controlled, measured, patient. Awareness aligned fully with rhythm of valley memory and presence. He reached small rise. Stream curved below, gently rippling. Stones hummed faintly. Shadows folded softly around peripheral shapes. Valley pulsed gently. Shadow behind girl mirrored subtle motion. Girl calm, serene, patient. Air thickened, subtly pressing gently. Peripheral presence adjusted slightly. Awareness complete. Continuum fully aligned. Step now would integrate completely all observed and unseen elements. Breath slow, pulse steady. Alignment precise, deliberate, controlled. He extended hand toward girl. Gesture deliberate, measured. She mirrored it perfectly. Valley responded softly. Stream shimmered. Stones vibrated faintly. Shadows folded subtly. Shadow behind girl adjusted slightly. Peripheral presence acknowledged. Air thickened softly. Continuum flowing continuously through valley, stream, stones, shadows, girl, shadow, unseen presence, and himself. Step now would not merely meet girl, but intersect entire flow of continuum. He took another measured step. Stones hummed faintly. Streams shimmered fractured light. Shadows shifted subtly. Shapes at periphery mirrored alignment. Shadow behind girl confirmed motion. Girl calm, serene, patient, waiting. Air thickened, gently pressing softly. Peripheral presence shifted slightly. Valley pulsed quietly. Awareness fully expanded beyond body-mind ordinary perception. Continuum flowing unbroken, encompassing every element past, present, and unseen. Motion deliberate, controlled, measured, patient. And in that instant shapes at periphery shimmered like mist in sunlight. Shadow behind girl tilted subtly. Valley vibrated softly. Stream rippled faintly. Stones hummed faint resonance. Girl blinked rapidly. Air thickened, pressing gently against chest. RF understood the next motion would not only intersect girl fully, but extend the continuum into an unbroken continuous flow encompassing every observed and unseen presence. He inhaled deeply, pulse steady, breath slow. Alignment complete, threshold past, presence acknowledged. RF felt a sudden pulse of awareness at the edge of his vision. Not human, not animal, but deliberate, patient, aware. Valley itself seemed to hold its breath. Stones hummed faintly beneath his feet. Stream rippled softly, reflecting fractured sky and moving shadows. Shadow behind girl mirrored subtle shifts as if sensing the unseen entity at the periphery. Girl remained calm, serene, patient, waiting. Air thickened slightly, pressing gently against his chest. Continuum stretched. Threshold shifted. Alignment now included this new presence he had not previously perceived. He stepped forward, slowly, measured, deliberate. Breath even, pulse steady. Stones hummed faint resonance underfoot. Streams shimmered gently, reflecting fractured sky and shadows folding across its surface. Shapes at periphery adjusted subtly. Valley seemed to lean in, patient, observant. Shadow behind girl extended gently forward, yet maintained distance. Girl lifted hands slightly, acknowledging motion. Awareness expanded to include valley, stream, stones, shadows, shapes, girl, shadow, unseen entity, and himself. Step now carried weight of observation, patience, and alignment flowing simultaneously. Another step, deliberate, careful, controlled. Stream rippled faintly. Stones vibrated with faint resonance. Shadows shifted subtly. Valley pulsed softly, as if breathing in rhythm with his heartbeat. Shapes at periphery mirrored motion. Shadow behind girl adjusted slightly, confirming alignment. Girl serene, calm, patient, observing. Air thickened slightly yet supportive, pressing gently against chest. Peripheral presence shifted subtly. Continuum expanded, flowing continuously across all elements. RF realized motion now fully integrated continuum, including unseen presence. He paused briefly, inhaled, slow, exhaled, controlled. Eye contact with girl complete. Valley exhaled quietly. Stream reflected fractured sky and shifting shadows. Stones hummed faint resonance. Shapes at periphery held steady. Shadow behind girl poised attentive. Air thickened gently. Awareness expanded beyond body-mind ordinary perception. Continuum flowing continuously through valley, stream, stones, shadows, girl, shadow, unseen presence, and himself. Step forward would solidify full alignment. He lifted foot, slow, deliberate, measured. Stones hummed faintly. Stream shimmered. Shadows folded softly around peripheral shapes. Valley pulsed gently. Shapes at periphery mirrored alignment. Shadow behind girl extended gently, confirming correct motion. Girl calm, serene, patient. Air thickened, pressing gently against chest. Peripheral presence shifted subtly, acknowledging alignment. Awareness expanded fully. Step deliberate, controlled, intentional. Continuum flowing unbroken. Another step. Valley exhaled softly. Stream rippled more strongly. Stones vibrated faintly. Shadows shifted subtly. Shapes at periphery acknowledged motion. Shadow behind girl poised attentive. Girl calm, patient, serene. Air thickened, gentle yet supportive. Continuum flowing continuously. Step deliberate, controlled, measured, patient. Awareness aligned fully with rhythm of valley memory and presence. He reached small rise. Stream curved below, gently rippling. Stones hummed faintly. Shadows folded softly around peripheral shapes. Valley pulsed gently. Shadow behind girl mirrored subtle motion. Girl calm, serene, patient. Air thickened, subtly pressing gently. Peripheral presence adjusted slightly. Awareness complete. Continuum fully aligned. Step now would integrate completely all observed and unseen elements. Breath slow, pulse steady. Alignment precise, deliberate, controlled. He extended hand toward girl. Gesture deliberate, measured. She mirrored it perfectly. Valley responded softly. Stream shimmered. Stones vibrated faintly. Shadows folded subtly. Shadow behind girl adjusted slightly. Peripheral presence acknowledged. Air thickened softly. Continuum flowing continuously through valley, stream, stones, shadows, girl, shadow, unseen presence, and himself. Step now would not merely meet girl, but intersect entire flow of continuum. He took another measured step. Stones hummed faintly. Stream shimmered, fractured light. Shadows shifted subtly. Shapes at periphery mirrored alignment. Shadow behind girl confirmed motion. Girl calm, serene, patient, waiting. Air thickened, gently pressing softly. Peripheral presence shifted slightly. Valley pulsed quietly. Awareness fully expanded beyond body-mind ordinary perception. Continuum flowing unbroken, encompassing every element past, present, and unseen. Motion deliberate, controlled, measured, patient. And in that instant shapes at periphery shimmered like mist in sunlight. Shadow behind girl tilted subtly. Valley vibrated softly. Stream rippled faintly. Stones hummed faint resonance. Girl blinked rapidly. Air thickened, pressing gently against chest. RF understood the next motion would not only intersect girl fully, but extend the continuum into an unbroken continuous flow encompassing every observed and unseen presence. He inhaled deeply, pulse steady, breath slow. Alignment complete, threshold past, presence acknowledged. RF inhaled slow, steady. Breath even, pulse calm. Valley seemed to lean gently around him like a living presence. Stones hummed faintly beneath feet. Stream rippled softly, reflecting fractured light and shifting shadows. Shapes at periphery moved subtly. Shadow behind girl mirrored motion. Girl calm, serene, patient, waiting. Air thickened, gently pressing softly against chest. Awareness expanded, fully encompassing valley, stream, stones, shadows, girl, shadow, peripheral presence, and himself. Continuum flowing continuously, unbroken. He lifted foot, carefully measured, deliberate. Step after step, deliberate, controlled, patient. Stream shimmered faintly. Stones hummed faint resonance. Shadows folded softly around peripheral shapes. Valley pulsed softly like heartbeat beneath all presence. Shadow behind girl adjusted subtly, confirming alignment. Girl lifted hand slightly. Air thickened gently yet supportive. Peripheral presence shifted slightly. Awareness expanded beyond body-mind ordinary perception. Step carried deliberate observation, patience, understanding, alignment, presence, memory flowing simultaneously. Another step. Valley exhaled softly. Stream rippled more strongly. Stones vibrated faintly. Shadows shifted subtly. Shapes at periphery acknowledged motion. Shadow behind girl mirrored subtle alignment. Girl calm, serene, patient. Air thickened, gently pressing softly against chest. Peripheral presence shifted subtly, acknowledging correct motion. Awareness expanded fully. Continuum flowing continuously through valley, stream, stones, shadows, girl, shadow, peripheral presence, and himself. Step deliberate, controlled, intentional, precise. He paused briefly. Breath slow, pulse steady. Eye contact with girl complete. Valley exhaled quietly. Stream reflected fractured sky and shifting shadows. Stones hummed faintly. Shapes at periphery held position. Shadow behind girl poised attentive. Air thickened gently. Awareness expanded fully. Continuum flowing continuously through all elements. Step forward would solidify alignment, fully integrating memory, awareness, valley observation, and presence, including unseen peripheral entity. He extended hand slowly toward girl. Gesture deliberate, measured. She mirrored it perfectly. Valley responded softly. Stream shimmered. Stones vibrated faintly. Shadows folded gently. Shadow behind girl adjusted slightly, confirming alignment. Peripheral presence shifted subtly, acknowledging motion. Air thickened, supportive yet gentle. Continuum flowing continuously, unbroken through valley, stream, stones, shadows, girl, shadow, peripheral presence, and himself. Step now would complete alignment. Step after step, deliberate, controlled, patient. Stream rippled softly. Stones hummed faintly. Shadows shifted subtly. Shapes at periphery mirrored alignment. Valley pulsed gently. Shadow behind girl extended slightly. Girl calm, serene, patient, waiting. Air thickened slightly, pressing softly against chest. Awareness expanded completely. Continuum flowing continuously, encompassing all observed and unseen elements. Step carried full integration of presence, observation, memory, awareness, alignment, patience, and deliberate understanding. He reached crest fully. Stream curved gently below, shimmering. Stones hummed faint resonance. Shadows folded softly. Shapes at periphery acknowledged alignment. Shadow behind girl mirrored subtle motion. Girl calm, serene, patient. Air thickened gently, pressing softly against chest. Peripheral presence shifted slightly. Valley pulsed softly. Awareness fully expanded. Continuum fully integrated, unbroken, flowing continuously through all elements, including unseen presence. Step complete, but flow remained alive, active, continuously moving. Another step. Stones hummed faintly. Stream shimmered, fractured light. Shadows shifted subtly. Shapes at periphery mirrored motion. Shadow behind girl confirmed alignment. Girl lifted hand slightly. Air thickened, gently supportive. Peripheral presence acknowledged motion. Valley pulsed softly like heartbeat. Awareness expanded fully beyond body-mind ordinary perception. Continuum flowing continuously, unbroken. Step deliberate, controlled, patient, intentional, precise, aligned fully with rhythm of valley memory presence, observation, and all surrounding elements. He exhaled slowly. Breath even, pulse steady. Stones hummed faintly. Streams shimmered. Shadows folded softly. Shapes at periphery held position. Shadow behind girl relaxed slightly. Girl calm, serene, patient. Peripheral presence shifted subtly. Air thickened gently. Valley exhaled softly. Awareness fully expanded. Continuum flowing continuously, unbroken through valley, stream, stones, shadows, girl, shadow, peripheral presence, and himself. Alignment complete, threshold crossed, full integration realized. And as sun dipped behind distant hills, Arif stood on crest beside girl. Stream shimmered, faint, fractured light. Stones hummed softly. Shadows lengthened, folded gently. Shapes at periphery, still patient, silent, observing. Shadow behind girl, calm, attentive. Air thickened, gentle, soft. Peripheral presence, subtle, acknowledged. Valley pulsed quietly. Awareness fully expanded, encompassing all. Continuum flowing continuously, unbroken, alive, active through all observed and unseen elements. Step forward, complete, alignment perfect. Participation, not possession, not dominance, but patient, deliberate integration of presence awareness. Observation, memory, and understanding. The valley exhaled gently. Stream shimmered, soft light fractured across surface. Stones hummed, faint resonance. Shadows folded softly. Shapes at periphery, patient. Shadow behind girl, calm, attentive. Girl serene, observing. Air thickened, gently pressing softly against chest. Peripheral presence shifted subtly. Awareness expanded fully. Continuum flowing continuously, unbroken, encompassing valley memory, observation, presence, alignment, past, present, and unseen. Step complete. Alignment perfect. Presence acknowledged. Valley alive. Flow unbroken. Participation fully realized. In the quiet of a mystical valley, Arif steps into a world where time, memory, and presence flow together like a living current. Guided by a serene girl and mysterious unseen forces, he learns that true alignment is not about control but patient understanding, observation, and presence. Every stone, ripple, and shadow pulses with centuries of knowledge, and every motion matters in a continuum that stretches beyond the visible. Through deliberate steps and silent patience, Arif discovers the profound connection between himself, the valley, and all unseen elements, culminating in a moment of complete harmony and unbroken flow. If you want to drift into worlds where the mysterious, the quiet, and the magical unfold with every word, subscribe to Stories Before Sleep and let your imagination wander in every story we tell.